his name up in lights. He just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat or the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Toc's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving them starstruck. Humble through opportunities, giving the fact that many misjudge himself for asking for some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds. The skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% fear. Be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse. This dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he f***ing with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire. And Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with Top, but a f***ing nihilist porcupine. He's the type women wanna be within rappers. Hope he gets 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth or does it stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best, dedicated to what they do and give 100%.
Forget Mike, nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time because he writes every note.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Important and give you peace of mind to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
if you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the armor vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today. There's nothing.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed. Only from Security First Bank.
When we talk about protecting That's why our agents are ready.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. Come on. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities.
In reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American.
Your teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the Guard Camp.
Buying a home is a
this year. We thank you so much for joining us inside the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here at Floyd Fitzgerald. Batting third is number 10, Andrew White, defensively in the hot corner at third. And in the cleanup spot is number 5, Keenan Coyle. Defensively, he will patrol left field. Batting fifth is number 19, Evan Coonert. He was out right field. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, number 15, Corey Fichter. Batting seventh is number 12, Austin Kubik. He's playing at first base. Batting eighth is number 3, Aaron Nesbitt, defensively patrolling center field. And rounding out the batting order in the 9-hole is number 4, Elliot Barnes. The starting pitcher for Sioux Falls East Post 15 is Matt Graham. This is the third time that he has come out onto the field for Sioux Falls East, all of them by virtue of his start. He has 14 innings of work under his belt, 9 strikeouts to 4 walks, 1 hit batter, and a 1.5 ERA in the early stages of the season for Sioux Falls East Post 15. This will now be their 14th game of the season. With their win over the Post 22 Expos, they now have an 8-4-1 record. 3-2 is their record on the road. This is a road game for them, and they will be taking on the Post 22 Hardhats, who will be batting in the bottom halves of the 7 innings of regulation here in the first game of 2 that they will play today. Leading off for the Post 22 Hardhats, now finding a groove in that leadoff. His battery mate is Sam Haig. The defensive alignment of the Hardhats, number 27, Matt Vickers, the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, is at first. At second is number 50. Holden Jackson comes out and he deals his first pitch of the game. And it is in there for strike 1. Josh Nevin starts off with an 0-1 count here. Top of the first, nobody on the base path and no score between Sioux Falls East and your Post 22 Hardhats. 0-1 from Jackson's fouled directly behind home plate. And now quickly, Jackson is ahead 0-2. Early key for Jackson has been the same key for every pitcher since we talked to Coach Messer about 3 weeks ago, and that is throw strikes. Utilize the strike zone that you are given by the umpire. 0-2 from Jackson. Swung on and popped high in the air. Foul territory, first base side. Matt Vickers is tracking, and he can't make the catch. It just took a crazy spin and drop behind him. He had a good play on the ball and a good route to the ball. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with a catch. Teddy's pointed out multiple times on our broadcast, too, especially when foul balls are hit, there's so much backspin on the ball that it's like trying to track a knuckleball, if you will. It just goes all over the place. Again, Matt Vickers with an opportunity to make a play on the ball, but again, just took a crazy trajectory away from his glove. So Nevin, if you will, now has a second life. Looks like Vickers went out to get a different first baseman's glove, too. So it looks like he's okay. His equipment and paraphernalia are in check. And now Holden Jackson is about to deal an 0-2 to Josh Nevin. Josh Nevin, the leadoff hitter for Sioux Falls East, batting .324 coming into this game. Next pitch buzzes the tower high and inside. And that'll put the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Josh Nevin, Matt Hedin, and Andrew White due up for Sioux Falls East here in the scoreless top of the first. Jackson back to it. Full windup, 1-2, misses low and away, and that'll even things at deuces. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Holden Jackson's ERA, 3.818. Looking to get that a bit down as he comes into his second start. He deals the next pitch low and away for ball 3. So now we have a full count scenario on our hands. First payoff pitch of the entire ball game. And here it comes to Nevin. Swung on and hit to third. And Justin Kramer can't come up with the stop. It skips right by him and goes into left. So safe at first is Josh Nevin. The leadoff man is on the base path. 1 man on, nobody out. And that'll bring up Matt Hedin, the second baseman. Still have yet to see what the official ruling is on that sequence of events, whether it be an E5 or a hit. I would imagine that'd be a hit. That took a crazy skip as it came to Kramer. But we still have yet to get a ruling from the official scorer of this game. Let out an error. Check down to first, wasn't there in time, so Nevin is safe. First pitch from Jackson catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. That is to Matt Hedin, the second baseman. Hedin comes into this at-bat with a .429 batting average, 3 RI on the season. Every hit that he has been a single. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to left. Pursuing is Cam Fees, and at the warning track, he can't make the catch, and the ball goes over his head. So Cam Fees gets the ball into third, and with a double is Matt Hedin. Matt Hedin is on second, and now on third is Josh Nevin. So a good start for Sioux Falls East. And that's now going to bring us to Andrew White, the third baseman, with nobody out, and 2 men in scoring position. They're actually going to rule that an E7. So that erases the double previously put in the scorebook. So 2 errors on the first 2 batters. First pitch is ripped foul, first base side, and that goes in to the grandstand. No balls and a strike to count here for Andrew White. Keenan Coyle, the cleanup hitter, is on deck. Holden Jackson needs a big out at the plate right here. He's ahead in the count 0-1. Here comes that 0-1. The next pitch is low and away, but Sam Haig gets the block. The count will even now at a ball and a strike. So with Haig making that big block behind the home plate, nobody took advantage of home. Ball and a strike now the count. Andrew White is up. 2 men in scoring position, nobody out. Next pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike. And a run is going to come in and score. So that's Josh Nevin from third on the pass ball. And Matt Hedin will move over to third. So Sioux Falls East has struck first. 1-0 is the score. Still 1 out here in the top. So there's a walk to put Coyle on first. Men on the corners with 1 out. If there's any benefit to this scenario, a double play ball can end the inning, but that brings up Evan Cooner. So the first pitch that comes to Cooner Misses low and away for ball one. Cunard has men on the corners and one out here in the top of the first. Sioux Falls East has an early 1-0 lead. Cunard, again, comes in with the second-best batting average in the lineup at .467. 1-0 is swung on and hit high in the air to right. That ball is going to drop foul. And the count will even now to a ball and a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike the count here. For Holden Jackson as he throws to Evan Cunard. Should a double play not end the inning, Corey Fichter, the DH, is on deck. Next pitch is swung on and ripped foul. That's going to go into Rapid Creek. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Something else to keep in mind there, as Cunard was swinging, there was a hit and run on. Coyle was trying to go to second. So that'll be something to be mindful of. Jackson may check him down at first just to keep him close to the bag. So a ball and 2 strikes the count. Jackson looking for his second strikeout. There's that check down to first and a lightning fast pickoff move. However, it's not there in time. So Coyle remains safe at first. Men on the corners here for Cunard. 1 out here in the top of the first. Sioux Falls East has a 1-0 lead. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on, and that is foul once again into Rapid Creek. And the count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. Holden Jackson with a dangerously high pitch count in this top half of the first. He's hovering halfway to about 25. Just about. I was supposed to say halfway to 30. 25 came out first. Mathematically, that doesn't make sense. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and yet again fouled. Once again, that will go into Rapid Creek, and we will lather, rinse, and repeat as this count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Evan Cunard has a .471 on-base percentage, one of the leaders on this team in on-base plus slugging at 1.204. 1-2, runner goes. Caught him looking, strike 3, and the throw is wide. However, it is recovered by Deming at second. So Evan Cunard strikes out looking. That is strikeout number 2 for Holden Jackson. Coyle makes it to second on the stolen base. 2 down now for the Hardhats defensively. That's going to bring up Corey Fichter with 2 men in scoring position. So another benefit. To having 2 outs is that a sacrifice fly cannot score a run. Corey Fichter swings and misses at his first pitch. 0-1 the count. So no balls and a strike to starting count here to Fichter, the DH. Next pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. And now quickly Jackson's ahead once again. No balls and 2 strikes. So now here comes the 0-2 from Jackson. And it just missed low and away. Ball and 2 strikes to count. That was a strike a few batters ago. So here comes the 1-2. Swung on and it's chopped to third. Bowman tries to make the stop from short and he can't. It skips over his glove and into left for a base hit. Throw to third. Now they've got a gentleman in a pickle here. Throw home is in time. And they get the runner out at third. So some big hesitation as 1 run scored. And so the Hardhats, as the run did score from Fichter, now trail 2-0 as they go to the bottom half of the first. We'll be back with an inning summary and more as we transition from defense to offense, coming back to the bottom half of the first inning. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and
Post 22 Hardhats baseball here in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box is presented by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. It is the annual Veterans Classic here in Rapid City, South Dakota, this year presented by Camping World. Post 22 Hardhats now transition from defense to offense, and Cooper Bowman, Sam Haig, and Zach Solano are due up for the Hardhats. Inning summary from the last inning. For Sioux Falls East, it was 2 runs on a hit, 2 defensive Hardhats errors, and 1 man left on the base path. Cooper Bowman now leads off for the Hardhats and comes into this at-bat with a very impressive 299. He swung on and hit tiptoeing on, go up against Matt. His bat with a 324 batting average. Nothing. Strike now the count. Here. Hey. Zach Solano is on deck. Somebody right now. He is bat of Zach Solano, who again may be in a slump, but now has a great opportunity to have his Hardhats deficit now with a base hit. So Sam Haig with a huge extra base hit. That's his 4th double on the season. And now we turn to Zach Solano, who, again, I find it comedic that he's in a slump and yet he's still batting .329. Solano comes in with 7 home runs on the season, 27 RBI. The clear lead on that team, just 2 ahead of Cooper Bowman. 4 ribbies. Now we have a brief conference coming with Matt Graham and Josh Nevin. Fans, you should stay tuned to the broadcast all day long, not only for Hardhats baseball, but as you all know, I'm also the broadcaster for the Rapid City Rush hockey team in town, and today we are announcing our very first player signing of this offseason, and I can guarantee you will all be very thrilled to hear who exactly is returning in a Rush R for the 16-17 ECHL season. Solano's first pitch is an off-speed pitch that catches the zone for strike 1. No balls and a strike the count. We will make the announcement on our airwaves here on Post22Live.com and on ESPN Radio Rapid City. So we look forward to making that big announcement probably around the 3rd inning, I think. We'll let some baseball get under our belt before we start the game-breaking announcements. Man on second for Solano, 1 out, bottom of the 1st. Next pitch misses up high, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Zach Solano with a .437 on-base percentage. Has 28 hits on the season, 11 of which are singles. 7 home runs, 2 triples, and 8 doubles. Here's the 1-1. And that misses inside. Curveball. 2 balls and a strike, now the count. Matt Vickers, the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, is on deck. You talk about a red-hot hitter. Vickers is 7 thousandths of a percentage point off of a .500 batting average. Man's checked at second. 2-1 to Solano. Was swung on and fouled, and that's going first base side and out of play. Count will now even at deuces. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 1st. The Hardhats trail 2-0. Sam Haig is standing on second with a stand-up double that he hit on a full count out to left. Graham checks Haig at second. Here's a 2-2 to Solano. That's low and away. And a block is made on the play by Nevin. He gets the throw to second, but it is not there in time. So the count now goes full for Solano. A chance to either earn a free pass to first or to do some damage with his bat. It's also a chance for Graham to either issue that aforementioned free pass or to try and punch Solano out at the plate and bring up Matt Vickers with 2 outs. 1 pitch and so many possibilities. Second payoff pitch of the day here for Matt Graham. Haig's checked at second. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and hit right up the middle and into center field for a base hit. So the hitting slump of Zach Solano is no more. Sam Haig rounds third. Throw home is in time. The ball was not dropped. And Zach Solano made it to second on the throw. Haig tried to stretch it to go home and was thrown out at the plate. So that was an 8-2 throw out. But Zach Solano is on first with a single. His hitless streak is no more. And now that's going to bring up the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year in Matt Vickers. So Vickers still has a chance to do some damage here. If you recall on Sunday, on the first pitch he saw in the bottom of the seventh, he allowed the Hardhats to walk off with a 9-6 win over the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado. Vickers comes in with a .493 batting average and a chance to knock Solano home. First pitch. Swung on and popped high in the air to left. Ball comes to Keenan Coyle, and he makes the catch. And that will do it. So for the Hardhats in that inning, it's no runs on 2 hits, no defensive errors for Sioux Falls East. 1 man left on the base path, and he was in scoring position. 1 full inning in the books, and the Hardhats trail 2-0 to Sioux Falls East. We'll take a quick recess, and we'll be right back with the top half of the second inning. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Sioux Falls East and Austin Kubik, Aaron Nesbitt, and Elliot Barnes. Stick around, folks. You're listening to the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
And Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eric's for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition.
Let's go. Yeah. For those of you.
1 full inning in the books. Statistically across the board for Sioux Falls East, it's 2 runs on 1 hit with no errors in the field. For the Post 22 Hardhats, it's no runs on 2 hits, however, 2 blemishes on the defensive front. 7, 8, and 9 are due up now for Sioux Falls East. They will go up against Holden Jackson, who in this game has issued 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. However, 2 defensive errors have allowed 2 runs to come across, but for Jackson, they are not earned. Austin Kubik, Aaron Nesbitt, and Elliot Barnes due up here for Sioux Falls East. Jackson's first pitch of the top half of the second rides high and inside for ball 1. So Austin Kubik, the first baseman, now takes to the batter's box. This is the first game, the 8th game in which Kubik will bat. His next pitch is fouled. Just tightrope the first baseline there, and the count evens to a ball and a strike. Kubik comes in with the lowest batting average on the team at 154. Again, the 8th game in which he's taken the batter's box. 18 plate appearances under his belt, 13 at-bats. Next pitch is fouled, and that will push the count to a ball and 2 strikes, once again in favor of Holden Jackson. To Jackson's credit, he hasn't thrown many balls in this start. He's only walked the 1 batter. So he's buying into the mantra that Coach Messer wants with these pitchers: just throw strikes. Use the strike zone that's given to you. And don't try and overcomplicate things on the bump. So to his credit, he's throwing strikes. He's only allowed 1 hit, but those 2 runs on those 2 defensive errors, currently the Achilles heel of the Hardhats in this game. So a ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And he catches him looking. Strike 3. Backwards K in the scorebook. That is K number 3 in this start for Jackson. His second by virtue of window shopping. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Aaron Nesbitt. So Nesbitt now takes to the batter's box. 200 even batting average coming into this at-bat. Center fielder for Sioux Falls East. First pitch he sees, he fouls off. No balls and a strike to starting count. Jackson's now starting to throw first pitch strikes, which is absolutely critical for a pitcher. Teddy will give you the numbers all day long if he was with me in the booth, that about 75% of the time that will register an out, whether it's a strikeout or a ground out or anything. Next pitch is swung on and popped up. That's in foul territory, right field side. And I believe that's going to go into the Sioux Falls East bullpen. And quickly Jackson's ahead with an 0-2 count. Nobody on the base path. One out here in the top of the second. The Hardhats trail 2-0, looking to keep it that way when they transition back to the offensive here in the bottom half of the second. Jackson a full windup. 0-2, swung on and fouled. And that one will go into Rapid Creek. And the count holds once again at 0-2. However, to the credit of these Sioux Falls batters, they are fouling off a lot of pitches. So here comes the 0-2 once again from Holden Jackson. Gets his sign from Sam Haig. Full windup. Here it comes. Rides just a bit inside. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. I'm sure Aaron Nesbitt's going to get chirped for that one in the dugout. He had a chance to wear it and go to first with a free pass. But that was at the ankle level. That's kind of questionable. You don't want to ding your ankles up. Jackson back to it. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and hits a second. Stops made on the play by Carter Deming. Throw to first is in time. 4-3 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Elliot Barnes, defensively positioned at shortstop for Sioux Falls East. Much more efficient inning this time around for Carter Deming. He's hovering just around 10 pitches right now. Rung up the first batter with a backwards K. Induced a ground out to the middle infield. And now Elliot Barnes comes to the batter's box with an even .300 batting average. First pitch that he sees misses low for ball 1. Should Elliot Barnes safely make it to the base path, Josh Nevin is on deck, and he reached on an error first time he was up and came around to score the first of 2 Sioux Falls East runs. 1-0 is swung on and hit high in the air to center field. And Solano tries to dive for it, and the ball just skips by him. So it drops for a base hit. It's a 2-out single for Elliot Barnes. He stands on first base. And that is going to bring up the aforementioned Josh Nevin with a man on first and 2 outs here in the top of the second. Sioux Falls East still has a 2-0 lead on the Hardhats. Post 22 looking to keep it that way as they transition to the bottom half of the second inning and go back to the sticks. Josh Nevin on a full count. Hit the ball to third and reached on an error. E5 was charged to Justin Kramer, and then he came around to score the first run. First pitch is in there for strike 1. And the count starts off at 0-1 for Holden Jackson as he throws to Nevin for the second time in this game. Should Nevin safely get on the base path, Matt Hedin's on deck, and he reached on the other of the 2 Hardhats errors, came around to score the second of 2 runs for Sioux Falls East. Next pitch misses low and away. And the count now goes to a ball and a strike for Josh Nevin. He is the backstopper for Matt Graham, the starting pitcher for Sioux Falls East. Here comes the 1-1. Next pitch is swung on and popped high in the air to the left side of the infield. Now goes into foul territory. Cooper Bowman makes the catch. He called Justin Kramer off, and he had to almost bend over backwards to make sure that ball got into his glove. So it's a pop 6 in the scorebook, and that will end it for Sioux Falls East. Statistical summary: no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 man left on the base path for Sioux Falls East. At the end of an inning and a half, they still maintained a 2-0 lead. Post 22 Hardhats now go back to the sticks and due up for the home side: Eric Petrie, Timmy Paris, and Camp Fees. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business
Veterans Classic played here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Sponsored by Camping World this year, features 8 teams from 5 different states playing in round-robin format. Only 1 game has been played so far, and that was Sioux Falls East defeating the Post 22 Expos 12-2 in the opening game of the tournament. So Sioux Falls East looking to keep their record pristine. The Expos will be looking for their first win the next time they play. Post 22 Hardhats playing in their first game of this contest. Down 2-0 currently to Sioux Falls East. As the east side of Post 15 now playing in back-to-back contests today. Eric Petrie's the first batter for the Hardhats, and his first pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to right center field. Aaron Nesbitt's underneath it, and he makes the catch. So 2 innings in a row for the leadoff hitter for the Hardhats. It's 1 pitch, 1 man up, and 1 man down. And that'll bring up Timmy Paris, the designated hitter. Eric Petrie came into that at-bat with a .453 batting average. And now Timmy Paris comes in, batting .386 himself. First pitch that he sees, he rips it into right field, but it just goes foul. So Timmy Paris tried to push opposite field, and that goes into the bullpen of Sioux Falls East. He starts off with an 0-1 count against Matt Graham. Timmy Paris hit a 2-run blast in that series finale on Sunday against the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado. That came back in the bottom of the first. Back and forth affair, and the Hardhats walked off and won 9-6. 0-1 to Paris. Misses high and inside, and the count evens now to a ball and a strike. Eric Petrie was the first man up in this inning for the Hardhats. Timmy Paris currently up. Cam Fees is on deck, and that rounds up the 3 gentlemen due up here in this bottom half of the second. 1-1 to Paris. Breaking ball misses up high. And now the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Hardhats are down 2-0 to Sioux Falls East here in Game 1 of the Veterans Classic presented by Camping World. 2-1 to Paris. Swung on and hit to center field. Underneath it is Aaron Nesbitt, and he makes a routine catch. 2 men up, 2 men down, both of them hitting to Nesbitt, so he's been busy here in this inning. And that's now going to bring up the speedster, Cam Fees. Cam Fees playing defensively out in left field has unfortunately one of the 2 errors the Hardhats have in this game. Batting .277 coming into this plate appearance with a .400 on-base percentage. The point that I always like to make about him is when he gets to the base path, he is dangerous. Arguably one of, if not the fastest runner on this club. First pitch that he sees rides inside and then bounces off the glove of Josh Nevin. Ball and no strikes to count to Cam Fees. Bases are empty for the Hardhats left fielder. There are 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second, and the Hardhats trail 2-0. 1-0 from Graham to Fees. Misses high. 2 balls, no strikes. So 2-0 now the count to Cam Fees. And he swings and misses at his next pitch. So 2 balls and a strike now his count. Hardhats still looking for their first run of the game. They're trailing 2-0. Matt Graham, full windup, deals a 2-1. And that catches the inside part of the zone up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Fees. Matt Graham is 1 pitch away from what would be his first strikeout in this start and from concluding the bottom half of the second inning. Graham shakes off Nevin. Now they both agree on a sign. Here comes the 2-2 to Fees. That misses low, and the count now goes full. So to the credit of the Hardhats, now in 3 out of 7 batters that Graham's faced, the count has gone full. So they're taking pitches. We have had 3 batters retired on 1 pitch, though, to that. Conversely. Next pitch is swung on and hit to short, and it skips off the glove of Elliott Barnes and goes out into left field. So that will surely be an E6. Charge to Elliott Barnes at short. Cam Fees, the speedster, is now on the base path. And that is going to bring up Carter Deming with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second. He represents the tying run at the plate. We haven't seen Carter Deming too much. He's only come to the batter's box in 4 games. However, he is batting .333. So, yeah, it looks like a small sample size, but when Carter Deming's played, he's hit the ball. Very young player, defensively positioned at second base for the Hardhats. First pitch to Deming. Misses low and away, 4-1. So Deming with a .333 batting average, 2 hits to 6 registered plate appearances. He struck out once, he's walked 3 times. So again, he knows how to get on base. Here comes his 1-0. That misses low and away, 2 balls and no strikes to count. Josh Nevin took a look over to first, trying to see what Cam Fees was going to do with that big lead he took. Maybe he throws it, tries to go for the pickoff. But instead, he throws it back to Matt Graham, and he's going to let Matt Graham take care of business from here on the mound. Fees takes his lead on first. Graham takes his time trying to get this sign here, and now time is called by Carter Deming at the plate. Should Deming safely get on base, Justin Kramer is on deck, and this is somebody who has hit 2 home runs in the last 2 weeks. There's only 2 of the season. Justin Kramer starting to flash power. Here comes the 2-0. Next pitch is fouled, and that is going to go into the concourse of Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium, and we'll push the count to 2 balls and a strike. This is Mark Minetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales press box here at the Fitz, as it is colloquially referred to here in Rapid City. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Carter Deming. Fees is looked at first by Matt Graham on the mound for Sioux Falls East. He deals the 2-1 to Deming. Runner goes. That's in there for strike 2. Throw to second is not in time. Cam Fees comes up with the stolen base. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And like I told you, he is just dynamite on the base path. So Cam Fees gets another stolen base. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Carter Deming hoping that he is not retired at the plate. He can put the ball in play, and for surely Fees will score from second if it's a base hit. 2-2 to Deming. Swung on, and I believe that is a foul ball. We didn't see a signal from the home plate umpire, so I guess it was just verbalized that it was foul. It was a very weakly hit ball. So the count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Carter Deming. Cam Fees, by the way, stole his 4th base of the season, making that trip to second. 2-2 to Deming is swung on and hit high in the air to right field. There is a Bermuda Triangle of gentlemen locating the ball, and it drops for a base hit. And Cam Fees is going to score all the way from second. It's a 2-out RBI single for Carter Deming, and the Hardhats have now halved the deficit. They trail 2-1. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. It wasn't the flashiest hit, but it didn't need to be. Like I said earlier, all Carter Deming needed was a base hit to knock Fees in from second, and that is exactly what he did to a tee. And the ball dropped over the head of first baseman Austin Kubik and into very, very shallow right field. So now Justin Kramer comes on. He has a man on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And the first pitch that he sees is ripped foul, third base side, and it goes to the Hardhats dugout. No balls and a strike to starting count here for Kramer. Comes into this at-bat with a .308 batting average. Not every day you see a 9-hole hitter hitting above 300, but if there's anybody that's been able to do it, it is Justin Kramer. It was the same case last season. He hovered around 300 for the longest time, and then going into postseason play, just caught fire. Deming on first, 2 out. Kramer tries to drop the bunt, and it's almost caught. It was elevated just slightly, making the diving catch, or at least attempting to, was Josh Nevin, and it just went off the tip of his glove. Kramer tried to catch the Sioux Falls East infield asleep, which he has done numerous times with bunt singles. However, now his count goes to 0-2. So the Hardhats with 1 run on 1 hit so far, 1 defensive error for Sioux Falls East. Justin Kramer with an 0-2 count, and Carter Deming standing on first. Graham gives Deming a look over at first base from his stretch. Takes his time and deals the 0-2 to Kramer. That one is hit into left center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Carter Deming gets the signal. He is going to go to third. Kramer's going to hold up at first. So good awareness and base running for Carter Deming to get to scoring position. Now it's men on the corners with 2 outs, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Cooper Bowman, who comes in hovering just around a .300 batting average. But since he has found the leadoff spot, he has really found success with that bat, batting over .300 when he's in the leadoff position. So men on the corners, a big 2-out single here for for Justin Kramer. Back-to-back singles for the Hardhats. And Cooper Bowman has a chance to tie this game up. For the record, Bowman has gone yard. It's his only home run of the season, and it happened to be a grand slam. So Bowman in this game 0 for 1. First pitch he sees is low and away, and that will bring him to a starting count of 1-0. Should Bowman safely get on the base path here with 2 outs, Sam Hague is on deck. And he doubled the last time he was up. 2 outs, bottom of the second. The Hardhats trail by 1. Cooper Bowman has a glorious opportunity. All he needs, easier said. 1-0 to Bowman. Misses low and out. Now goes to 2 balls and no strike. Home to the right of home plate is Justin Kramer. On third, 90 feet away from home to the left of home, is Carter Deming. 2 balls, no strikes to count here to Cooper Bowman. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Hardhats looking to tie this game up. 2-0 to Bowman, misses low and away for ball 3. And so now Bowman is 1 pitch away from a free pass to first, which would load the bases up for Sam Hague, who again is 1 for 1 with a double already in this contest. Graham from the stretch. Deals the 3-0 to Bowman. And that is in there for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count. Cooper Bowman just needs to get a base hit and this game is tied. Men on the corners, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Graham checks the man on first. Nothing comes of it, though. That man on first is Justin Kramer, who singled when he was last at bat. Back-to-back singles for the Hardhats, starting to string some hits together. 3-1 is the count to Bowman. And Graham deals, swung on and fouled. That's going to go out of play and into Rapid Creek. And now the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So a massive payoff pitch coming up. For Cooper Bowman. Bowman trying to tie this game up. Payoff pitch from Graham. Everybody goes. The next pitch is fouled. That's going to go over our press box. And the count will hold at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Should Bowman not be the final out, Sam Hague is on deck. Should he be the final out, we will go to the top of the third, where Matt Hedin, Andrew White, and Keenan Coyle are due up for Sioux Falls East. Graham's taking his time trying to get things sorted out here on the mound for post 15. The east side of post 15, I should say. Payoff pitch number 2 coming to Cooper Bowman, and Graham deals, swung on and hit to short. Stop is made on the play by Barnes. The throw to first is in time, and that is going to do it. Well, the Hardhats at least plate 1 run on 2 hits with 1 defensive blemish from Sioux Falls East. 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. At the end of 2 full innings of play, Sioux Falls East still leads. However, the Hardhats are now on the board. 2-1 to score. We'll be back with the top half of the 3rd inning. Matt Hedin, Andrew White, and Keenan Coyle due up for Sioux Falls East here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
This opportunity comes knocking at your door. You need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Not gonna lie, folks, I'm actually getting pretty excited because after this 3rd inning, I will make the announcement that all Rush fans have been waiting for all day long since we announced that we will announce our very first player signing for the 2016-17 season. And I can assure you, when you hear this gentleman's name on our air, you will be ecstatic to know that he is returning. So it should be So now we go to Matt Hedin, the lefty batting second baseman for Sioux Falls East. He'll go up against Holden Jackson for the second time in this ball game, and the first pitch that he sees is ball one. 1-0 starting count to Hedin, who reached on the second of two hard hat errors defensively, came around to score the second of two Sioux Falls East runs. Next pitch he sees, rise low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Statistically across the board through 2 full innings of play. For Sioux Falls East, it's 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 blemish in the field. For the Hardhats, it's 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. Next pitch misses the zone, and quickly, Jackson is behind to Matt Hedin. 3 balls and no strikes. Matt Hedin followed by Andrew White and Keenan Coyle for Sioux Falls East, due up in this inning. Hedin's 1 pitch away from a free trip to first, and that 3-0 is in there for strike 1. So he's going to have to wait another pitch should that be the case. Three balls, no strikes the count. 3 balls and a strike the count, and the next pitch is inside for ball 4. So Hedin walks. That's 2 out of 3 innings now in which the leadoff man has made it to the base path. And now we're going to have a quick conference between Sam Haig, the catcher, Holden Jackson, the pitcher, and Jason Hers, the pitching coach for the Post-22 Hardhats. Don't forget, folks, that with this very exciting player announcement for the Rapid City Rush, that our season tickets are on sale now, as low as $10 a game. Last season was so exciting, with it being our second season in the ECHL, with our first season affiliated with the NHL's Arizona Coyotes, with Coach DeSantis taking over the helm and really making one heck of a run at trying to get this team in the playoffs. Now Coach DeSantis has a full season under his belt, or will have a full season under his belt, a full offseason as well. He's putting his team together, and it is shaping up to be something fantastic. The first player of the 2016-17 season to be announced at the top half of the 4th inning. So here comes the first pitch to Andrew White, and that is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the starting count to White, who was the very first strikeout out of 3 that Jackson has dealt in this start. For the record, there is action in the Post-22 bullpen, and I believe that is Will Moore, the lefty, that's warming up. Next pitch is fouled off, which will push the count to no balls and 2 strikes, but Sam Haig seems to be shaken up after that pitch. I don't know if he took it off of his bare hand. He must have. He's trying to walk it off. But he is hurting right now, and it did go off of his bare hand. So the head coach, Mitch Messer, now comes out to look. And I would not be surprised if Liz, one of the trainers for Post-22, will come out. It looks like he is going to be looked at. So a brief delay in the action as Sam Haig tries to shake that off. He took a foul ball off of his bare hand. And hopefully nothing too pressing comes of it. They're right now doing range of motion tests to see just exactly how far he can move that bare hand. And that bare hand for Sam Haig is his throwing hand. He is a right-handed throwing catcher. It looks like he's going to shake it off for right now. He's going to try and grip a baseball at least first and see what's going on. So we'll see if Haig can still play in this ball game. He's going to try and play on it. So now Jackson has an 0-2 to deal to Andrew White. He checks down to first before he does that to keep Matt Hedin close to the bag. No balls, 2 strikes to count from Holden Jackson to Andrew White. Another check down to first, but it's not there in time. Man on first, nobody out here in the top half of the 3rd. Sioux Falls East is batting, and they currently have a 2-1 lead. Hardhats are looking to keep it that way as they try to tie this game up when they go to the bottom half of the 3rd. Next pitch, swung on and hit down the third base line. That's a base hit. That's going to go all the way to the corner. Cam Fees fields, and he throws the ball in to Justin Kramer at third. So it's a double on an 0-2 pitch from Andrew White. And now two men once again are in scoring position for Sioux Falls East, and that's going to bring up Keenan Coyle, the left fielder, who walked the last time he was up. So 2 out of 3 innings that the Hardhats have played in right now. The first 2 batters have not only made it to the base path, but they are now in scoring position. We have no outs here in the top of the third. 2-1 is the Sioux Falls East lead. Keenan Coyle walked the last time he was up. First pitch from Jackson skips in the dirt, and that's ball 1. Ball and no strikes to count here to Coyle. The infield on the corners, at least, is pretty shallow. Matt Vickers is about a foot away from the lip of the grass, as is Justin Kramer. And the next pitch goes low. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Evan Coonard is on deck. He struck out looking the last time he was up. Second of 3 strikeouts Jackson's issued in the start. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 men in scoring position, nobody out top of the third. Next pitch is swung on and hit into right. Underneath it, though, is Petrie, and Petrie makes the catch. And he gets the throw into the relay. The runner is going. And Vickers hangs on to the ball as he gets it on the cutoff. So it's an RBI sac fly for Keenan Coyle. And now Sioux Falls East has a 3-1 lead with 1 out here in the top of the third. Very interesting because the gentleman on third, and Hedin, really had to tag back up. There was no urgency to get the ball into home. So now it's a man on second with 1 out here in the top of the third. And Sioux Falls has now reestablished their 2-run lead at now 3-1. First pitch from Jackson, Evan Coonard, is up high for ball 1. Coonard 0 for 1 with a backwards K in the scorebook. Jackson trying to replicate that success. 1-0 is in there for strike 1 on the inside part of the plate. 1-1 is now the count. Corey Fichter, the DH, is on deck. Fichter had an RBI single last time he was up, but then there was a base running gaff that ended the top half of the first from third to home. Next pitch misses low for ball 2 on Coonard, so 2 balls and a strike now the count for the right fielder who comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 on the day with a K. Next pitch is swung on and hit to short. Bowman gets the stop, and the scoop throw to first is in time. So that's 6-3 in the scorebook now. Andrew White advances from second to third in the shuffle, though. So there's a man on third with 2 outs now here in the top half of the third. That'll bring up Corey Fichter. Fichter again with that RBI single last time he was up. And then Keenan Coyle got thrown out in very unfortunate base running gaff for Sioux Falls East. Our umpires are making it known that there are 2 men down on the field. Very low batting stance here for Fichter. First pitch he sees is a swing and a miss. No balls on a strike is starting count. There was a batter like that the other game that we had, and that was Billy Cook from Premier West. Both of these gentlemen batting almost the exact same, David Eckstein-esque, if you will. Here's the 0-1. That misses low and away, and it skips through the 5-hole of Haig, and coming in from third to score is Andrew White. So an unfortunate turn of events on the pass ball there will cause a second run to score in this inning, and now Sioux Falls East has a 4-1 lead. So Fichter now has a 1-1 count. Twice in this game, a passed ball has scored a run. Now the bases are empty with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. So ball and 2 strikes is now the count from Jackson to Fichter. Should Fichter be the final out? Sam Haig, Zach Solano, and Matt Vickers would be on deck. And the next pitch is fouled, and the count will hold. About a ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the 1-2 now. From Jackson to Fichter, looking for the punch-out. 1-2 is just fouled. Ball and 2 strikes now remains the count. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and hit high in the air to right field. Ball has some distance on it. Petrie on the run, can't make the catch, and it goes all the way to the wall. Petrie gets it into his relay at Deming at second base. So it's a 2-out double for Corey Fichter. And now that's going to bring up Austin Kubik, the first baseman, who struck out looking the last time he was up. So now, Kubik comes up with a man on second, and the first pitch that he sees is up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the starting count to the first baseman of Sioux Falls East. Should the Hardhats end this inning now, Haig, Solano, and Vickers are due up in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-0. And that just misses low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, the count here to Kubik. Kubik has a man on second, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Hardhats now trail 4-1. 2 runs have been scored in this inning on the power of 2 hits. Next pitch is in there for strike 1. And the count now goes to 2-1 from Jackson to Kubik. Should Kubik not be the final out of this inning, Aaron Nesbitt is on deck. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to Carter Deming at second base. Next pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count is evened up for Kubik. So once again, Jackson's looking for his 4th strikeout in this start. 2-2 buzzes the tower high and inside, and that'll push things full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Payoff pitch coming from Jackson to Kubik. And he deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that will end the top half of the third. So Jackson gets his 4th strikeout for the Hardhats. The stat recap of the inning. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors. 1 man left on the base path, and he was in scoring position. 2.5 innings in the books, and now the Hardhats trail 4-1 to Sioux Falls East. To the bottom of the third we go. Sam Haig, 1 for 1 with a double. Zach Solano, 1 for 1 with a single. And Matt Vickers, 0 for 1 with a flyout, are due up. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at...
So now here comes Sam Haig to lead off the bottom half of the third inning. The Hardhats trail 4-1. Really need to start to get these bats moving here as they take on Sioux Falls East. Matt Graham still on the mound for the visiting side, and his first pitch to Haig is in there for strike 1 over the heart of the plate. No balls and a strike, the starting count to Haig, who had a stand-up double the first time he was up in this game. Back in the bottom half of the first, however, did not come around to score. 0-1, misses high and inside, and the count evens to 1-1. As a matter of fact, Haig tried scoring all the way from second, and he was thrown out at the plate, 8-2. Center field at catcher. Here comes the 1-1 to Haig. He goes around on the check swing and misses. Ball and 2 strikes the count. It's a big pet peeve of Teddy's. You know, Teddy Lipo, my normal broadcasting partner, would say, if you're going to swing, swing hard. Swing with authority. Because you never know what can happen. Swinging weak is almost guaranteed to ask for a strike. 1-2 to Haig. Swung on and hit right up the middle. That's a base hit in the center field. So Sam Haig recovers on the check swing from one pitch previous. He's now 2 for 2 in this game with a double and a single halfway to the cycle. Leadoff man is on with nobody outs here in the bottom of the third, and that's going to bring up Zach Solano, who is 1 for 1 in this game and broke up his 6-game hitless streak with his first inning base knock. So Zach Solano looking to do some more damage with his bat here. First pitch that he sees misses low, 4-1. He has Sam Haig on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Hardhats are trailing 4-1. Solano looking to try and get this Hardhats club back in this ballgame. 1-0 to Solano. Swung on and chopped foul. That goes third base side. And the count will now even to a ball and a strike for the heavy-hitting Hardhat center fielder. Reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers, is on deck. He is 0 for 1 with a flyout. That ended the bottom half of the first. So Sam Haig and Zach Solano doing some great work. A combined 3 for 3. Solano's looking to make that 4 for 4. Haig halfway to the cycle with a single and a double, and he stands on first. 1-1 to Solano. Runner goes. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to center field. Ball has some distance. It is high. It is far, and it goes all the way to the warning track and off the wall. Haig is going to make it to third. He gets the red light. Zach Solano now has a double himself. 2 men in scoring position on second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. And here comes the red-hot Matt Vickers now to the plate. What a very well-hit ball from Zach Solano, and even better base running for Sam Haig, because despite having to slow up going to second, wondering whether or not that was going to be caught by the center fielder Aaron Nesbitt, he still made it all the way to third. And Zach Solano, to his credit, was able to get another extra burst to go to second. So now Matt Vickers comes with a glorious opportunity to either tie this ball game on one swing or at least put a real dent into the Sioux Falls lead. First pitch that he sees is low for ball 1. Vickers 0 for 1 in this game, responsible for a 3-run walk-off jack on Sunday to right field that gave the Hardhats a 3-1 series win over the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado, in a 9-6 win in the ballgame. His 1-0 skips low and inside, and quickly his count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. The Sioux Falls East lead is 4-1 with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Matt Vickers now at the plate has men on second and third. On second is Solano, on third is Sam Haig. Eric Petrie is on deck. So the murderer's row, if you will, of the Hardhat lineup in full effect here. 2-0 to Vickers. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. And now the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Again, Eric Petrie on deck. He's looking for his first hit of the ball game as well. He's 0 for 1. Vickers currently at the plate, 0 for 1. Graham takes his time on the mound. Full windup he goes. Here's the 2-1 to Vickers. Swung on and missed. And the count now evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Vickers trying to avoid being punched out at the plate. Matt Graham looking to accomplish that task. Vickers calls for time, takes a quick step out, kicks some dirt, and he's going to gather some thoughts. Zach Solano on second with a double. Sam Haig on third. A single put him on the base path. Full windup for Graham. 2-2 to Vickers. Swung on and driven into right center field. That's a base hit, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run's going to score. Solano gets the green light. He's going to trot home. And on second, with a 2-run RBI stand-up double, is Matt Vickers. And the Hardhats now trail 4-3 with still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Stat of the day, and we've beaten this like a dead horse, Teddy and myself, when he's been in the broadcast booth, is that Matt Vickers has more extra base hits than he does singles. Exhibit A is now standing on second base with a 2-run RBI double. Case is stated. So now, in scoring position is Matt Vickers, and that's going to bring up Eric Petrie. Keep in mind, folks, still nobody out here in this bottom half of the third inning, and the Hardhats have come right back into it. 3 hits strung consecutively, and 5 out of the last 6 batters that have come to the plate between the latter ends of the bottom half of the second and the starting half of this bottom half of the third. So now Eric Petrie has a chance to tie this game up and not Matt Vickers in. Petrie does have some power, and he has gone yard before this season. And by before, I mean 3 times. His first pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to center. Ball has some distance, and that's going to go off the wall. And it goes off the glove of Nesbitt as he tries to field it. Vickers is going to come all the way from second and score. Back-to-back doubles, 4 consecutive hits. And the Hardhats have now tied this game up at 4. It's an RBI double for Eric Petrie. And I have to amend my statistic. That's back-to-back-to-back doubles for the Hardhats, and still nobody out here in the bottom half of the third. We are all square at 4. So the Hardhats bats get hot, and now Timmy Paris comes up with a chance to do even further damage. On Sunday, Timmy Paris had a 2-run blast, and he is in a scenario to accomplish that once again. The first pitch that he sees from Matt Graham, right high and inside for ball 1. There was a conference prior to Petrie's double between all the infielders and the coaching staff with Matt Graham of Sioux Falls East. So maybe that is a precursor to Graham's early exit should the Hardhats keep stringing hits together. 1-0 is swung on and hit to short. Barnes makes the stop on the run. Throw to first is in time. In the ensuing shuffle, though, Petrie advances to third. So it's a 6-3 putout for Timmy Paris. That is the first out of this inning. And that's going to bring up Cam Fees, who reached on an error the last time he was up and scored the first of what are now 4 runs for the Hardhats in this game. So Cam Fees, the beauty for him is that a sacrifice fly can give the Hardhats the lead. So anything he hits with decent power out of the infield is going to give the Hardhats their first lead of the ballgame. First pitch that he sees catches the zone low and away for strike 1. Just barely caught the outside part of the plate. No balls and a strike to starting count here for Fees, who was 0 for 1, reached on an error to the shortstop Elliott Barnes. 0-1, swung on and hit right up the middle. Stop is made on the play by Graham. He checks down Petrie at third, and the throw to first is in time. So now 2 outs for the Hardhats with the go-ahead run standing 90 feet away from home. And that's going to bring up Carter Deming. Deming, last time he was up, singled and was stranded at third. That was back in the bottom half of the second inning. So here's hoping that he can get a base hit to give the Hardhats the lead. 4-4 is the score, 2 outs bottom of the third. And the first pitch that Deming sees is inside for ball 1. And Josh Nevin lost that pitch as it went off of his paraphernalia and started rolling around home plate. Petrie didn't take advantage, so he remains on third. 1-0 the starting count here to Deming, looking to go 2 for 2 in this ballgame. And should Deming safely get on the base path, Justin Kramer's on deck. He's also 1 for 1 with a single. Graham to the full windup, 1-0. Swung on and fouled. That goes to the right of our press box and over Shep's Peak. Ball on a strike to count. Shep's Peak, of course, is the room next to ours, to the right of our press box, a beautiful area to watch the ballgame in. It's like a luxury suite, if you will. Ball on a strike to count here to Deming. Next pitch is swung on and hit to short. Barnes on the charge, makes the stop, and the throw to first is in time. And that is going to end the Hardhats threat. So after 4 consecutive hits, 3 Hardhats in a row are retired. But the Hardhats tie this game up. It's 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 1 man left on the base path, and that was Eric Petrie, 90 feet away from home at 4 runs aside. Due up for Sioux Falls East, Aaron Nesbitt, Elliott Barnes, and then back to the top of the order to Josh Nevin. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
What you're eating? A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in
Well, folks, the suspense can finally end. I would like to introduce on our airwaves here on ESPN Radio Rapid City in the middle of this Post-22 broadcast that the very first player signed for the upcoming Rapid City Rush 2016-17 season is returning defenseman Michael Young. And I was so elated to hear from Coach DeSantis and from Joe Ferris, our general manager, that Michael Young would be coming back. What an unbelievable human being. A great hockey player as well, who has so many leadership qualities on that back end. Had a career high with 4 goals, 14 assists, and 18 points last year. The unfortunate turn of events for Michael was that injuries really derailed his season. He was on pace for something very special. New hurler on the mound for the Hardhats, Will Moore, the young lefty, comes up, and the first pitch that he deals to Aaron Nesbitt is ball 1. Holden Jackson ends after 3 innings pitched. He allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned. He walked 2, and he struck out 4. Will Moore deals ball 2 now to Nesbitt. Moore's next pitch is low and inside for ball 3, so quickly 3-0 is the count. He'll face Aaron Nesbitt, who's 0 for 1, Elliot Barnes, who's 1 for 1 with a single, and then Josh Nevin, who's 0 for 2, reached on an error and scored. Next pitch from Moore is in there for strike 1, so now 3 balls and a strike to count. Next pitch swung on and missed on an inside pitch, strike 2. And now quickly, Will Moore, who was behind 3-0, has now pushed this count full. Next pitch is swung on and popped high in the air to center field. Zach Solano punches the glove. He is underneath it, and he makes the catch. F8 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Elliot Barnes, who is 1 for 1 with a single. So for those of you just tuning into our broadcast, Michael Young is the first player of the Rush offseason to be signed for the 2016-17 ECHL season. First pitch that Will Moore deals to Elliot Barnes is a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. No balls and a strike to start. It counts. That's the first batter that Will Moore has dealt a first pitch strike. Next pitch is swung on and hit right up the middle to second. Deming charges, gets the stop, throw to first in time. What great defensive range by Carter Deming. Made a heck of a play at second. 4-3 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring us back to Josh Nevin. Right back to the top of the order. First pitch that Will Moore deals to Josh Nevin misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Nevin, who's 0 for 2, reached on an error and popped out to Cooper Bowman in foul territory. Next pitch that the lefty Moore deals catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. And now the count is even up at 1-1. Next pitch catches the zone for strike 2. Set out a ball and 2 strikes the count. From Moore to Nevin. 1 pitch away from his first K in relief and from the conclusion of the top half of the 4th. Next pitch misses low and inside, and that will bring the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam Haig is going to have a quick conversation here with Will Moore. Moore comes into this relief appearance with 12 1/3 innings worked, a 2.27 ERA, 14 strikeouts to 9 walks. He's only hit 5 batters, so he equals out when it comes to strikeouts at the plate to free passes at the plate. He's only allowed 11 hits. And he's come in relief now. This is the 8th time he's playing, his 8th in relief. He has a 3-0 record despite no starts. Next pitch that he throws is outside for ball 3, to Josh Nevin. So now the count goes full. Nevin has the bases empty and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. We are all square at 4 runs aside. Next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Will Moore gets his first K in relief and ends the top half of the fourth. For the first time in this game defensively for the Hardhats, it's a 1-2-3 inning, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 3.5, we are still all square at 4. The Hardhats look to take the lead when they come to the sticks to the bottom of the fourth. Justin Kramer, Cooper Bowman, and Sam Hager due up. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find...
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is presented to you in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. It's the annual Veterans Classic here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City, South Dakota. It is sponsored this year by Camping World, and we thank them for their continued support of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball. Well, we have a new pitcher on the mound for Sioux Falls East. However, I must say it is awfully tough to see just exactly who is throwing, given that the numbers aren't really friendly for us. So, a new pitcher on the mound here for Sioux Falls East. He will face Justin Kramer first. So it looks like we've identified the pitcher on the mound is Keenan Coyle, the left fielder. And his first pitch to Justin Kramer is up high for ball one. So Keenan Coyle moves from left field, which means that there is a defensive substitution out in the left. Next pitch to Kramer misses low and inside, and that'll push his count to 2 balls and no strikes. Kramer 1 for 1 in this game, singled the first time he was up. That came with 2 outs back in the bottom half of the second. 2-0. Catches the outside part of the plate, and there's strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike now the count. From Keenan Coyle, now in relief of Matt Graham, to Justin Kramer. Next pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. Coyle allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. Graham did in his start. Here's the 2-2 to Kramer. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So the first batter that Coyle faces in relief, he punches out at the plate. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats. That brings us back to the top of the order to Cooper Bowman. So no strikeouts for Matt Graham in his start. Not even a single walk. 3 earned runs, 4 total given up on 8 hits in 3 innings pitched. So now here's the first pitch to Cooper Bowman, and he swings and misses for strike 1. That was another halfway check swing that broke the plane of home plate. Here comes the 0-1 from Coyle. Next pitch swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Keenan Coyle, now in his first relief appearance of the season, 3rd appearance overall for Sioux Falls East. 11 strikeouts to 7 walks as he draws ball 1 to Cooper Bowman. So ball and 2 strikes now the count. 4.324 ERA. 4 hit batters, so he is exactly equal as well with strikeouts to free base runners with regards to walks and hit batters. Right now, ball and 2 strikes is the count to Cooper Bowman. And the next pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3, but the ball is dropped, however. Nevin gets the stop and the throw to first is in time. So it is a K, 2-3 in the scorebook. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Coyle in relief. 2 up, 2 down, and that will bring us to Sam Hague. Sam Hague, halfway to the cycle, doubled in his first at-bat, singled and came around to score in his second at-bat. Now the 2 hardest hits of the cycle and the triple and the home run are all he needs to get our first cycle of the season. First pitch he sees is low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Something I've observed about Coyle on the mound is that he's a very tall right-handed pitcher. He's got a downward motion on his pitches. So that will mess with the trajectory of the ball as it comes to the Hardhats batters. Next pitch is a two-seamer that breaks away. A slider that breaks away. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 to Hague. Swung on and hit foul, and that will push the count out of 2 balls and 1 strike. Should Hague safely get to the base pad, Zach Solano is on deck with the exact same statistical line as Hague. 2 for 2 with a single and a double and a run scored. So he, too, is halfway to the cycle. Full windup from Coyle. 2-1 to Hague. Misses low and away for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count to the backstopper for the Hardhats. And it's good to see that he's taking this at bat. You know, earlier he had that foul ball deflected off his bare hand. 3-1. Swung on and popped high in the air to the left side of the infield. Underneath it at third's Andrew White. He makes the catch, and that will do it. So unfortunately for the Hardhats, it's a 1-2-3 inning offensively, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. So both teams respond with 1-2-3 innings on either side of the frame. And at the end of 4 full innings, we're still all square at 4. To the top half of the 5th inning we go. Will Moore takes back to the mound, and the Hardhats their respective defensive positions. And we'll be right back with that and more here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Find Black Hill State University graduates everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hill State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hill State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hill State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is presented in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Statistically across the board, through 4 full innings of play, we are all square at 4 runs aside. For Sioux Falls East, it's 4 runs on 4 hits with 1 error in the field. For the Post 22 Hardhats, it's 4 runs on 8 hits with 2 blemishes defensively. Will Moore back to the bump in relief of Holden Jackson, who in his start went 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks. Moore will face the lefty Matt Hedin, the second baseman, who is 0 for 1 with a walk reached on an error, but both times he's made it to the base path he's scored. Andrew White, who is 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. And Keenan Coyle, who still has yet to register an at-bat, walked and then had a sac fly RBI to Eric Petrie in right field. First pitch that Moore deals to the lefty Hedin is in there for strike 1. Big lefty-on-lefty matchup, pitching and batting here. 0-1 to Hedin. Two-seamer misses high and outside. Ball and a strike now the count. Mark Benetti alongside you in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium on ESPN Radio Rapid City, 1340 AM and 105.7 FM. Moore deals his next pitch. That's low and away for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Hedin. And we are also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com. I'm not fully alone in this press box. I have Ben Connon of the Sports Ticket sitting to my right, making sure that our cameras are alive and kicking. Next pitch to Hedin is swung on and hit to left, but tracking it and making the routine catch on the run is Cam Fees. F7 in the scorebook starts off the top half of the 5th inning. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring us to Andrew White, who is 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. For those of you that missed the big news, at the top half of the 4th inning, we announced that the Rapid City Rush have signed returning defenseman Michael Young. Tomorrow, I will have a special interview aired with him in the afternoon. He's very excited to come back. Moore deals a first pitch strike to Andrew White and then throws ball one shortly after that. So a ball and a strike the count to Andrew White. Moore to his full windup. The lefty deals to the righty White. That swung on and popped up, but that's going foul territory and out of play. Just behind home plate. And now the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Moore already has 1 strikeout in relief. That ended what was a 1-2-3 top half of the 4th inning. Looking for strikeout number 2 in just the 5th batter that he's seen. 1-2 to White. Swung on and missed, strike 3. What a devastating curveball Will Moore threw for his 2nd strikeout in relief. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. Here comes Keenan Coyle, the former left fielder, now turned pitcher. First pitch to Coyle is in there for strike. Moore goes with the fastball over the heart of the plate. Coyle in this game still has yet to register an at-bat. He walked and was caught running from third to home, and then he had a sac fly RBI last time he was up. Next pitch he sees rise up high, and that will even things out at a ball and a strike. Very exciting day for sports in Rapid City. Veterans Classic goes on. Rush announced their first player of the offseason. Couldn't ask for a better day for this to happen on, too. It is currently 95 degrees, bright sun, blue skies. This is just a good Thursday overall. Coyle fouls off his next pitch. Ball and 2 strikes the count, and Moore deals, and that breaking ball broke way away from him, just rode off of his hand. So the count will even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. But seriously, though, just a gorgeous day for everything. Big player announcement from the Rush. Nice baseball in front of us. I am very alone, however, up here without Teddy in the booth. 2-2, swung on and hit high in the air to left. Cam Fees is trying to track it. Near the warning track, he makes the catch. And that is going to do it. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for the Hardhats, which means, once again, no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. At the end of 4.5 innings, the Hardhats and Sioux Falls East are still all square at 4 runs aside. To the bottom half of the 5th inning we go. And for the Hardhats, it's Zach Solano, Matt Vickers, and Eric Petrie due up. We'll be right back with that and more here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark.
Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth here at the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, bringing you the bottom half of the 5th inning. Game 1 of the Veterans Classic Tournament for the Post 22 Hardhats as they take on Sioux Falls East. Zach Solano leads off the bottom half of the 5th, and he looks at his first pitch, strike 1, from Keenan Coyle, who came in from left field to take over pitching duties for Matt Graham. Quickly, he deals a second strike, and Solano is behind. No balls and 2 strikes his count. Solano's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and a run scored. Coyle, full windup, 0-2, misses low and away. And the count will now go to a ball and 2 strikes for Solano. Solano, Vickers, and Petrie due up in this bottom half of the 5th. Here comes the 1-2. Caught him looking, strike 3 on the outside corner. So that is strikeout number 2 in relief for Keenan Coyle. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on the offensive side of things. And now, the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year and Matt Vickers is now on deck. Vickers was in the middle of back-to-back-to-back doubles between Zach Solano himself and Eric Petrie. And the first pitch that Vickers sees misses low and away for ball one. Vickers hit a 2-run RBI double the last time he was up and is statistically 1 for 2 in this ballgame. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. And the count will now even to a ball and a strike. 4-4 is the score between Sioux Falls East and your post-22 Hardhats. The Hardhats looking to get their first lead of the ball game as Vickers fouls off the next pitch. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. It has been straight zeros since the 4th inning started. Hardhats plated 3 in the bottom of the 3rd to tie the game up. Next pitch from Vickers is swung on and hit high in the air. That's going to the left side. That is in shallow left field, and the catch is made from Elliott Barnes, who came all the way out from shortstop and made the catch practically in left field. So that is an F6 in the book, not a pop 6. 2 up, 2 down offensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring us to Eric Petrie, who is also fresh off of an RBI double. When Petrie hit that double, he was advanced to 3rd on a ground out by Timmy Paris. However, he did not advance past 3rd, as Cam Fees and Carter Deming were both retired as well. First pitch to Petrie. Misses the zone for ball 1. Eric Petrie came into this at-bat with the second best batting average on the team at .453. He will surely see that balloon. Next pitch he sees is ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the right fielder of the Hardhats. He's 1 for 2 in this game with that RBI double and a fly out to center field. Petrie, one of the most powerful hitters on this ball club. Trying to do some damage with his bat. 2-0 is swung on and popped up. That's going foul territory, first base side, and just out of the reach of a diving Austin Kubik all the way from first. Couldn't make the catch. And the count now goes to 2 balls and a strike for Petrie. So 2-1 is now his count. The bases are empty. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. We are all square at 4 runs aside. Keenan Coyle deals his 2-1 to Petrie. That pitch is swung on and popped up high in the air. And it comes to the right side of the middle infield, and the ball drops. There's a Bermuda Triangle of 3 gentlemen surrounding it. The pitcher, Keenan Coyle, the first baseman, Austin Kubik, and the catcher, Josh Nevin. And nobody went for it. I don't know if all 3 of them called each other off or what the confusion was. That Eric Petrie gets probably the most quirky 2-out single you'll ever see. So now Timmy Paris has a chance to knock in the go-ahead run on the base path. He is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out to short. And the first pitch that he gets is low and away for a ball 1. Eric Petrie on first with a 2-out single. I don't think I will ever see anything like that, at least at this level, for a long time. Ball and no strikes the count. Next pitch is swung on and missed. And a check down to first from Nevin to Kubik isn't there in time, so Petrie is safe. And he might be a little slow to get up there, but Pete Barrows, now our first base coach, having a quick chat with him. So Paris count evens to a ball and a strike. He's looking for his first hit of the ball game. It looks like Petrie is favoring his upper body there as he tried to slide back into first to avoid the check down. And it looks like he's not feeling good right now. So it looks like the training staff, once again for the Hardhats, will come back out onto the field. And I believe Petrie's going to get a pinch runner here. Drake Messenger just grabbed a batting helmet. And now here he comes to take the place of Eric Petrie. So very unfortunate to see Petrie come up the way he did on the check down from first. So now Timmy Paris has a new runner And a 1-1 count, that has now just gone to 2 balls and a strike. Drake Messenger now on first to pinch run. Most likely to play for him for the rest of the game as well. 2 balls and a strike to count to Paris. Man on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Next pitch is turned on and hit in the left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Messenger is going to advance 90 feet, and now he's rounding second, going for 3. And Drake Messenger is safe on third. So it's a 2-out single for Timmy Paris, and great awareness of Messenger on the base path. He's now 90 feet away from giving the Hardhats their first lead of the ball game, and that brings up Cam Fees with men on the corners and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And it looks like we're going to have a conference on the mound between Keenan Coyle, the coaching staff of Sioux Falls East, and the catcher Josh Nevin. And most, if not all, the infield now coming in. So a very critical moment here for the Hardhats as Cam Fees now comes up with men on the corners. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Timmy Paris is on first. Drake Messenger pinch running for Eric Petrie is on third. 4-4 is the score. And Cam Fees with a base hit will give the Hardhats the lead. So conference on the mound is done. Keenan Coyle from the stretch deals his first pitch to Fees, and it is in there for strike 1. So no balls and a strike to start and count for the Hardhats left fielder. His defensive positioning could potentially change based on where Messenger goes. If he takes over at right or if he switches over to left. Here comes the 0-1. Next pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to count here for Cam Fees. 2 outs, men on the corners. Game's tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 to Fees. Caught him looking. Strike 3. And that is going to do it. No runs for the Hardhats on 2 hits. No defensive errors for Sioux Falls East. And 2 men left on the base path, one of which was 90 feet away from giving the Hardhats the lead. 5 full innings in the books. We are still all square at 4 runs aside. To the top half of the 6th inning we go. Due up for Sioux Falls East. Evan Kunert, Corey Fichter, and Austin Kubik. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
The Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau,
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is presented in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. 5 full innings in the books, and we are still all square at 4 runs aside between Sioux Falls East and your Post 22 Hardhats. Statistically across the board after 5 full innings. For Sioux Falls East, they got their 4 runs on the power of 4 hits with 1 error in the field. For the Hardhats, it's 4 runs on 10 hits with 2 errors defensively. Will Moore still on the mound in relief for the Hardhats, and he deals the first pitch to Evan Kunert. That is up high for ball 1. Kunert is 0 for 2, struck out to Holden Jackson looking and then grounded out to short. Will Moore, very quick pace, deals the next pitch. That's a strike. 2-seam fastball inside. Ball and a strike now the count. Here to Evan Kunert. Moore working very fast. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, and it is chopped to third. On the hop, it's Kramer. Nice scoop. Throw to first in time. What a great defensive play by Justin Kramer. That was not the easiest of hops to judge. And he fielded that as cleanly as you could have asked for and got the 5-3 putout. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Corey Fichter. who I believe is now taken over in left field for Keenan Coyle. First pitch that he sees is swung on and hits to second. Carter Deming gets the stop. Throw to first is in time. 2 men up, 2 men down on the strength of 4 pitches, and that's going to bring up Austin Kubik. So, too quickly retired by Will Moore and the Hardhats. Here in the top of the 6th, the game remains tied. Kubik is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice, both times to Holden Jackson. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1 from Will Moore. Will Moore has been flat out dominant in relief. He has retired 8 straight batters, looking for number 9 right now. Next pitch, swung on and missed, and then it is fouled off of the paraphernalia of Sam Haig. Ball and a strike now evens the count. Should Kubik be the final out of this top half of the 6th, Deming, Kramer, and Bowman are up for the Hardhats. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. And again, I have to reiterate that these numbers aren't really the most friendly for us. They're very dark numbers on dark jerseys. That's actually Logan Mueller, who was taken over for Austin Kubik. His next pitch is fouled, and that goes directly over our press box. And the count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes. So here comes now the 1-2. And that breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now from Moore to Logan Mueller. I apologize for not catching on that earlier. But again, the Sioux Falls East team is wearing a dark jersey with a dark purple number on it, with barely a white trim on the numbers. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That is K number 3 in relief for Will Moore, and it is back-to-back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Moore and company, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 5.5, we are still all square at 4 runs aside. To the bottom half of the 6th we go. Carter Deming, Justin Kramer, and Cooper Bowman due up for the Post 22 Hardhats. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
When we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity
shows bunt on the first pitch he sees, but it was still good enough for strike 1 despite the fact he pulled back. Next pitch rides up high, and the count now evens at a ball and a strike. Carter Deming due up, followed by Justin Kramer and Cooper Bowman. Deming 1 for 2 with a single, was stranded all the way at third when he did make it to the base path. Here comes the 1-1 from Keenan Coyle. Next pitch is hit high in the air to short. Underneath it's Elliott Barnes, and he makes the catch. So 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring us back to Justin Kramer, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Kramer looking to get something started for the Hardhats here in this inning. First pitch he sees, he turns on it, sends it to left. However, underneath it was Logan Mueller, and the catch is made. Logan Mueller now out in left field. Corey Fichter took over first base. So 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. And here comes Cooper Bowman. One swing and the Hardhats can have the lead here. Bowman, of course, has to hit it far enough. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs, bases empty. First pitch to Bowman, in there for strike 1. Cooper Bowman is 0 for 3 with a fly out, a fielder's choice, and a K2-3 in the scorebook. Keenan Coyle deals the 0-1 to Bowman, and that is way high and outside, kind of leaving to a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike the count here to Bowman. And Coyle deals. High and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Should Bowman safely get on the base path, Sam Hague is on deck. Here comes the 2-1. Next pitch misses low and away, and the count now goes to 3-1. Bowman's 1 pitch away from a free trip to the base path. Keenan Coyle, full windup, deals the 3-1 to Bowman, and that is high and inside for ball 4. So Cooper Bowman now makes it to the base path with 2 outs. The go-ahead run is aboard for the Hardhats, and that will bring us to Sam Hague. So Hague in this game 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and a run scored. Looking to knock Cooper Bowman home. First pitch to Hague. Misses low for a ball 1. This is the 3rd inning in relief that Keenan Coyle is pitching. He came in for Matt Graham, who went 3 innings, allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. Didn't walk a single batter, but didn't strike any out either. Here comes the 1-0. And that misses low and away. Bowman's going to go for second, and Nevin's just going to eat the ball. So Bowman takes advantage of the pass ball, and now he is in scoring position. Sam Hague, in the meantime, has a 2-0 count. Should Hague safely get on the base path, Zach Solano is on deck. He is 2 for 3 in this game with a single, a double, a run scored, and a strikeout looking. Runner on second is checked. That's Bowman. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to left. Underneath it, though, is Mueller. And Mueller makes the catch. And that's going to end the bottom half of the 6th. Well, the Hardhats get no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man was left on the base path, and that was Cooper Bowman on second base in scoring position. 6 full innings in the books, and we are still knotted up at 4 runs aside. Will Moore takes back to the bump. He will face 8, 9, and 1. In the order for Sioux Falls East, and that is Aaron Nesbitt, Elliot Barnes, and Josh Nevin. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Opportunity comes knocking at your door. You need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing.
And we still don't have a team with an advantage on the scoreboard. 4-4 is the score in our final inning of regulation. Top half of the 7th about to begin in just a few moments. Statistically across the board, for Sioux Falls East, post 15, it's 4 runs on 4 hits with 1 error in the field. For the post 22 Hardhats, it's 4 runs on 10 hits, but with 2 errors in the field. Will Moore, who has just been perfect in relief, to say the least, will now watch Aaron Nesbitt. Elliot already faced this entire lineup once. He's fanned 3, Everybody else is either grounded out or flown out to left field. So Wilmore, the lefty, goes up against Aaron Nesbitt, who is 0 for 2. He squares around for bunt, but the first pitch that Moore deals doesn't make the zone, so that's good enough for ball 1. Aaron Nesbitt grounded out to Carter Deming at second and then flew out to Zach Solano in center. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. And the count evens now to a ball and a strike for Nesbitt. Elliott Barnes on deck, 1 for 2 with a single. Josh Nevin in the hole, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 1-1, curveball, just missed the outside part of the plate for ball 2. So now 2 balls and a strike to count from Will Moore. Full windup he goes. Next pitch, misses low, and that'll be ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Aaron Nesbitt looking for his first trip to the base path. Here comes his 3-1. Swung on and missed. 2-seam fastball got him. And now the count goes full. Nesbitt thought he had struck out. It's probably because he thought the same thing I did on that second ball that I thought was strike 2, because that was a breaking ball that clearly caught the outside part of the plate. So now it's a full count. The first time that second time in this game that Wilmore's throwing a payoff pitch and to throw it inside for ball 4. So Aaron Nesbitt walks. That is the first walk dealt in relief by Will Moore. That's the first person to reach base. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch runner out there. For Aaron Nesbitt. So there is a pinch runner. And now that's going to bring up Elliott Barnes, the shortstop, who has a man on first and nobody out. Deming and Bowman trying to get their double play depth all ironed out. Moore deals the first pitch. Bunt is laid down. Bunt is dropped. Fielding's made by Kramer. Throw to first is in time. What a great recovery by Justin Kramer. Unloaded the cannon. However, the sacrifice was executed to a T. And the pinch runner for Aaron Nesbitt is now on second base. So now there's one man out with a man in scoring position, and that brings up Josh Nevin, who is 0 for 3, reached on an error, came around to score, and struck out the last time he was up. So Will Moore needs a big out at the plate here. First pitch he deals. Catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. No balls and a strike to starting count here to Nevin. Struck out the last time he was up. That's first of 3 issued by Will Moore. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and chopped foul third base side, and that puts the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Matt Hedin is on deck, who is 0 for 2. Reached on an error, came around to score, walked, came around to score, and then flew out the last time he was up. No balls, 2 strikes to count from Moore. He's looking for his 4th K in relief. Checks the man at second, deals the 0-2, swung on, and it is chopped just fair to third. Runners check, throw to first, in time. What a throw by Justin Kramer from the deepest part of the infield. The pinch runner for Nesbitt moves to third, but that is 2 consecutive plays, and where Justin Kramer's arm has registered the out. So 2 down, and now Hedin comes up. The lefty-on-lefty matchup. Moore the pitcher, Hedin the batter. And Hedin with a base hit can give Sioux Falls East the lead. First pitch that he sees. High and inside for ball 1. Hedin in this game 0 for 2. Reached on an error, walked, and flew out. Next pitch is swung on and lined to Bowman, and it goes off of his glove. And from third, the pinch runner in Cordell Walker will score. So very unfortunate. An E6 charge to Cooper Bowman. And now Sioux Falls East has the lead at 5-3. 5-4, excuse me. So very unfortunate for the Hardhats. And then the first pitch that Moore deals to Andrew White skips away. So now Hedin is on second in scoring position. And ball one is dealt to Andrew White. White is 1 for 3. He doubled, came around to score, but he struck out every other at bat. Here comes the 1-0. That's foul. Then the count evens to a ball and a strike. Very unfortunate turn of events for Cooper Bowman. That was a routine catch. Just went right off the tip of his glove. And scoring from third was Cordell Walker. Here comes the 1-1 from Moore. Swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes the count. What a devastating changeup that was. Now Moore is 1 pitch away from fanning his 4th batter in relief. And for bringing the Hardhats back to the sticks here in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and line. That's a fair ball, and that's going all the way to the corner and left. No, they're saying that's foul. That was awfully close. I could have sworn from this angle that was a fair ball, but the Blues said it was foul. That must have barely tight-roped the line, so the count will hold to a ball and 2 strikes. The Hardhats get a second life defensively. Will Moore trying to end this top half of the 7th. Here comes the 1-2. Low and inside. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Keenan Coyle, the pitcher, should White safely get to the base path. Coyle is 0 for 1 with a walk, a sac fly RBI, and a flyout. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count to White. Moore from the stretch deals, swung on and hit high in the air to right field. And the catch on the play is not made. It goes off the glove and all the way to the wall. The run will score from second. Going into third, Bowman gets the throw, and it is not in time. So Sioux Falls East now has a 6-4 lead. That was Cam Fees that went out in right field, and he couldn't make the catch. So it's an RBI triple with 2 outs for Andrew White. And that brings us to Keenan Coyle. 1 error is all that was needed in this inning to keep Sioux Falls East alive. It not only scored the go-ahead run, now it's added some insurance. Moore's first pitch goes high and outside here to Coyle. That's going to be good enough for ball 1, and now Coach Messer's going to come in and see just exactly what's going on with Will Moore. The entire infield comes in as well. For the Hardhats, in the bottom half of the 7th inning, Zach Solano, Matt Vickers, and Drake Messenger are due up. Messenger came into pinch run for Eric Petrie, but was stranded on third. So he will take his first at-bat come the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Hardhats just recently walked off on Sunday, so it is not out of their wheelhouse to accomplish victory by virtue of the walk-off. But those bats are going to really need to heat up if they have any hope of stealing a win from Sioux Falls East. So Will Moore looks at Keenan Coyle with a man on third and 2 outs. First pitch is swung on and hit to short. Bowman gets the stop, drops it, throw to first is not in time. And now 7-4 is the score as White scores from third. And they are going to rule that as an E6. So now 7-4 is the Sioux Falls East lead. Now the first pitch to Evan Cooner is a big swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls and a strike the count here to Cooner, who is 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and 2 groundouts. And then the next pitch hits him. So now 2 men are on for Sioux Falls East here in what has been a disastrous top of the 7th inning for the Hardhats. Will Moore was 1 batter away from going 1-2-3 for a fourth, was 1 batter away from at least ending The top half of the 7th, within 4 batters, he had back-to-back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Walked the initial batter. He was sacrificed over. Justin Kramer made a big play. Then another defensive play by Kramer at third gave us 2 outs, and then there was an error on Cooper Bowman. Unfortunate. So now here comes Corey Fichter. And the pitch misses low and inside. Ball and a strike the count here to Fichter. Moore checks both runners. Next pitch misses low and inside, but Haig makes the block behind home plate. Will Moore's trying to get out of this inning. The Hardhats now trail by 3. 2 balls and a strike the count. And the next pitch misses low and away for ball 3. Three balls and 1 strike from Moore to Fichter. And now time is called. 7 runs on 5 hits with 1 error for Sioux Falls East. 4 runs on 10 hits, but that big 4 in the error column for the Hardhats is going to come back to bite them. Here comes the 3-1 from Moore. Misses outside, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded. And that is going to bring up Logan Mueller. Very unfortunate turn of events here for Will Moore and company. He's just still trying to get out of this inning. 2 outs. First pitch, swung on, and it's hit just by Moore. It comes to Deming, gets the charge. Throw to first is not in time. And it's an infield RBI single for Logan Mueller. And now 8-4 is the Sioux Falls lead. This has been a very long top half of the 7th inning here for the Hardhats. Sioux Falls East has officially batted through the order. And that will now bring us back to where we started with this, with Cordell Walker. So here comes the first pitch to Walker. And that is inside for strike 1. Just caught the corner of the plate. 0-1 starting count here to Walker, who walked the last time he was up, came around to score. Next pitch, rides inside, just missed the zone. Ball and a strike now the count. Next pitch is fouled. So 2 strikes still remains the count. So no balls, 2 strikes to count to Cordell Walker. There was a miscue on the umpire's signals on one of the pitches. 0-2, misses high and away, and now we have a ball in the count. Ball and 2 strikes. On third is Evan Kunert. On second, Corey Fichter. On first is Logan Mueller. Bases loaded here for Sioux Falls East. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that finally ends the top half of the 7th inning. So 4 runs for Sioux Falls East in that inning on the strength of 2 hits, 2 errors defensively for the Hardhats. The bases left loaded. 6.5 in the books. The Hardhats down to their final 3 offensive outs, and they now trail 8-4. Zach Solano, Matt Vickers, and Drake Messenger do up, folks. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Also stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
More American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes
Here for Zach Solano, who was 2 for 3 on the day with a single, a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. Solano, Vickers, and Messenger due up in the bottom of the 7th. The Hardhats trail by 4. Next pitch to Solano is swung on and chopped by a diving Barnes at short and into left field for a base hit. A huge leadoff single for Zach Solano. And now that's going to bring up the red-hot Matt Vickers, who is 1 for 3 on the day. For 3 on the Hardhats trail 8-4 coming into this bottom half of the 7th. Final inning of regulation. They need to get something started now. So Matt Vickers now up. First pitch he sees from Coyle. Fakes dropping a bunt. But the pitch missed low and he didn't cross. So a ball and no strikes to count to Vickers. With Solano on first with nobody outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Check down to first, not there in time. Statistically, across the board through 6.5, Sioux Falls East has 8 runs on 6 hits with an error. Hardhats 4 runs on 11 hits with 4 errors in the field. 1-0. Catches the inside part of the plate. 4 strike 1, so 1-1 now evens out for Vickers. Man on first, nobody out. Vickers up, Drake Messenger on deck. Hardhats trail by 4. 1-1 is swung on and hit foul. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Vickers trying to avoid an out at the plate. Here comes his 1-2 from Coyle. Rides up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Oh, he rung him up. Shit, you gotta be kidding me right now. Matt Vickers strikes out looking. And so now that is the first out of this bottom half of the 7th inning. Still a man on first. Messenger's first hit is swung on and a hit into left field. So there's a base hit for Drake Messenger. First at bat of the game. He came in to take over for Eric Petrie. Everybody advances 90 feet, so now Messenger is on first. Zach Solano is on second. That's going to bring up Timmy Paris. Timmy Paris singled the last time he was up. He is 1 for 3 in this game. With Cam Fees on deck. Keenan Coyle still on the mound. It looks like he's going to have a quick sit down here with Josh Nevin, the catcher. So here's the scenario for the Hardhats. 8-4 is the Sioux Falls lead. Sioux Falls plated 4 in the top half of the 7th inning. The Hardhats have 2 men on and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th. Timmy Paris is now up. First pitch he sees, low and away, ball 1. Check down to first, not there in time. Messenger took the first pitch he saw and drilled it into left. Timmy Paris starts off with a 1-0 count. Men on first and second, 1 outs. Hardhats desperately trying to get back into the game. Next pitch. Misses low. That's 2 balls and no strikes. And another throw to second, not there in time. They're trying to get Solano sleeping on second base. Not going to happen. 2 balls, no strikes to count to Timmy Paris with Cam Fees patiently waiting in the on-deck circle. Both runners are checked. 2-0 from Coyle. Swung on and hit to short. Stops made. No, it's not by Barnes. It skips off his glove. Solano gets the green light. He rounds 30, is going home. It's an E6 at 2-5. So Timmy Paris reaches on the E6. That is error number 2 in this game for Sioux Falls East. And Solano comes all the way from second to score. So now Drake Messenger on second. Timmy Paris on first. Cam Fees is now up. This is all with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Fees misses low. That's ball 1. Cam Fees in the game 0 for 3. Reached on an error, came around to score, grounded out to the pitcher, and then struck out looking the last time he was up. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to right field, but that ball is going foul, and it goes into the Sioux Falls East bullpen. Ball and a strike. Now the count's Cam Fees. Carter Deming patiently waits in the on-deck circle, unless they are pinch hitting. And I believe that is Alex Weaver, and that is correct. Alex Weaver in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 1-1. High and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Now the count to Fees. Should a double play not end the inning? Weaver is on deck. Here comes the 2-1. That misses low for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Now the count. If Fees walks, then the bases are loaded for Alex Weaver, and he can end this game in 1 swing. Coyle takes a look around the base path. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and fouled just behind home plate, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cam Fees. The Hardhats trail 8-5. Bottom of the 7th, 1 out. Men on first and second. Big payoff pitch coming from Coyle, and he deals to Fees. Low and away, ball 4. So a quality walk earned by Cam Fees. And now the bases are juiced. And here comes Alex Weaver. It looks like we're going to have another conference on the mound here, with the coaching staff as well as with Keenan Coyle. Alex Weaver to pinch hit for Carter Deming, who went 1 for 3 with a single. Probably the most important at-bat of this ball game. You look to Alex Weaver's statistics. He's batting .235. He's batted now for a 13th game in a hard hat uniform. The very first hit he ever had as a hard hat was a jack to left field. It was a solo home run. And now it looks like we have a slight delay. Not too sure why. It looks like Weaver actually won't be pitch hitting. They had Weaver all set and ready to go. It's going to be Riley McSherry now. So now Riley McSherry's up. So he's up with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th. McSherry batting .258. First pitch he sees in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike, the count to Riley McSherry, who has the bases loaded. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing, and the ball got dropped. But they're saying that McSherry went, and nobody advances, so that's strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Riley McSherry. Should this game go to extra innings, he will take over for Carter Deming at second base. Keenan Coyle, full windup. Deals the 0-2. That's low and away. And Nevin gets the stop behind home plate. So a ball and 2 strikes now for McSherry. On third base, he has Drake Messenger. On second, he has Timmy Paris. And on first, he has Cam Fees. Ball and 2 strikes to count to McSherry. The bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. The Hardhats trail by 3. Here comes the 1-2. High in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big at-bat here for McSherry, batting .258, coming into this at-bat. 2-2 is his count. Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is strikeout number 6 in relief for Keenan Coyle. 2 down now for the Hardhats. The base is still loaded, and that's going to bring up Justin Kramer. Now, Kramer, twice in the last 2 weeks, has hit a home run. I don't think it's out of the question to say maybe there's a chance. First pitch he sees, misses low for ball 1. Kramer is the winning run. The bases are loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. The Hardhats are down 3. Kramer in the game's 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. Here is his 1-0. Next pitch, misses high and away, 2 balls and no strikes to Kramer. Patience is key in a moment like this. Here comes the 2-0 to Kramer. And that misses low and away for ball 3. So Kramer's 1 pitch away from an RBI walk. That would make this an 8-6 ball game and would bring Cooper Bowman up. Still with the bases loaded. Here comes the 3-0 to Kramer. And that is ball 4. So it's an RBI walk for Justin Kramer. And it's now 8-6. Sioux Falls East still has the lead. So now, Cooper Bowman is up. Still 2 outs. But a base hit will tie this ball game. No doubt in my mind they will send Cam Fees from second if he gets a base hit. Bases loaded for Cooper Bowman, and he has a grand slam under his belt as well. That is the only home run of the season that he has hit. My goodness. Here comes Keenan Coyle. Full windup. First pitch to Bowman. Swung on and hit down the line. Just foul. Surely would have been a game-tying RBI single at the minimum. And a ball, and no balls and a strikes, the count to Cooper Bowman. So 0-1 with the bases loaded. Lights taking that first pitch. Here comes the 0-1. That misses low and away, and the count evens at 1-1. Cooper Bowman in this game is 0 for 3. Fly out, grounded into a fielder's choice, struck out, and then walked. 1-1 to Bowman. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. And now the Hardhats are down to their last strike. Cooper Bowman has a 1-2 count. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Hardhats down 2. 1-2, swung on, and it's chopped right back to Coyle. And his underhand toss to first is in time, and that is going to end the game. Sioux Falls East sweeps out both Rapid City teams. They beat the Expos 12-2 earlier today, and they take an 8-6 win against the Post-22 Hardhats. 7 full innings in the books. And the final score is 8-6. Sioux Falls East takes the win. So the Hardhats start off this tournament 0-1. And Sioux Falls East is now a perfect 2-0. Stat line across the board for you. For Sioux Falls East, 8 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors. For the Hardhats, it was 6 runs on 12 hits, but 4 errors in the field. Will Moore will unfortunately suffer the loss for the Hardhats. Go to 3-1. And for Sioux Falls East, Keenan Coyle will get the win. So a very unfortunate turn of events for the Hardhats here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. They fall to Sioux Falls East. 8-6 the final score after 7 regulation innings. Quick recess, crunch some statistics, gather some thoughts, and And we'll be back with your post-game show and statistical recap here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. We're also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
It's a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship.
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is presented in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Statistically across the board, after 7 regulation innings of play for Sioux Falls East, it was 8 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors. For the Post 22 Hardhats, it was 6 runs on 12 hits with 4 errors in the field. Thank you so much for sticking around with us from the later stages of this morning and in the early stages of this afternoon. It's Game 1 and Day 1 of the Veterans Classic Tournament played here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City, South Dakota. Mark Benetti, voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth, giving you your post-game show and statistical recap that recaps an unfortunate loss suffered at the hands of Sioux Falls East. 8-6 the final score. The Hardhats now go to a 21-5 record and still have a second game that is to be played tonight against the Helena Senators from Montana. So let's take a look at this game in a nutshell. Sioux Falls East got on the board with 2-0 lead in the first inning. First 2 runs were unearned on the part of Holden Jackson, the starter for this game. And both of the first 2 base runners were allowed by virtue of error, came around to score. So just like that, the Hardhats were down. They ended up plating at least 1 run in the bottom half of the second to have the deficit at 2-1, and then Sioux Falls East pulled away to a 4-1 lead in the top of the third. Bottom half of the third rolls around, and then that's when the Hardhats start really getting hot. Sam Haig leads off the bottom of the third with a single, comes around to score. Zach Solano, a double, comes around to score. Matt Vickers knocks both of those aforementioned gentlemen in with a double. He eventually comes around to score. He's knocked in by Eric Petrie, who also had doubled. So 4 consecutive hits, 3 of which in a row were extra base hits. And the Hardhats tied the game up at 4. But then the relievers took over, and nobody scored anything until the top half of the 7th. Will Moore comes in the top of the 4th to relieve. He strikes out 3 out of 9 batters that he sees, has back-to-back-to-back 1-2-3 innings, as does his relieving counterpart, Keenan Coyle. And it looks like in the bottom of the sixth that the Hardhats were threatening. They had a man on third, and Drake Messenger could not knock him home. And it was very unfortunate to see the Hardhats unable to get anything done there in the seventh inning, both defensively and offensively. Will Moore looks like he's just going to roll through this lineup. He walks the first guy. He sacrificed over to first. Justin Kramer, on both the sacrifice and on a ground out right after that, made some spectacular plays with his arm at third base. So the Hardhats have 2 outs, and that man, and unfortunately, an error scored him in, put a runner on. A triple knocked in the runner that reached by an error, and then an error knocked in the man that was scored by a triple. Eventually, the bases were loaded for Logan Mueller of Sioux Falls East. He got an infield RBI single. That pushed the score eventually to 8-4. Then the Hardhats had a chance in the bottom half of the second to make something of it. Zach Solano leads off with a single. He goes 3 for 4 in this game and gets out of his hitting slump. Zach Solano come out again, and then the ground out right to the pitcher from Cooper Bowman ended the ball game as it was. 7 full innings in the book, so the Hardhats lose for the second time in the last 3 games. Final score, Sioux Falls East takes the win. Final stat line across the board for Falls East, it was 8 runs on 6 hits with 2 errors. For the Hardhats, it was 6 runs on 12 hits and 4 errors. We're not going to have an MVP because the Hardhats did not win the game, but I will tell you this. The stat of the day was that Sioux Falls East scored exactly half their runs on runners that made it to the base path on errors. 4 errors from the Hardhats directly led to 4 runs in this get taken out. Assuming everything goes the normal way that it should, the Hardhats win 6-4, and that's it. But unfortunately, errors come back to bite the home team. And so now they have a couple of hours to try and shake it off and then come back when they play the Helena Senators from Montana tonight. That will do it for Game 1, folks. We will not be broadcast on ESPN Radio tonight for our second game of this doubleheader because it is the NBA Finals. Game 6 is on tonight. So we will be on post22live.com. Ben Condon here with the Sports Ticket has kept it alive and kicking for us all day today, and we will see him once again tonight. That is how you can Hardhats saying so long and enjoy the rest of you. We'll see you later tonight.